Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about onboarding a new client. The idea here is to get a client onboarded and get the data that you need from that client to prepare all the tax forms in a matter of minutes instead of hours. So to onboard a new client, I'm going to add a new client matter. So here on my client matter dashboard, I'm going to come to the add matter button, add the matter there, and I typically like to name my client matters with the name of my client. So in this case, we'll just call it Johnny Appleseed, and we'll call it tax resolution as a description. Now for my client, I'll come down here and add my client's email address. There it is. And if I wanted to, I could add a custom message for my client. We want it to allow you to customize the messages to your client so you can see what those emails will look like. All right, there we go. We have a custom message to send to the client. Now we're going to create the matter. And we're going to come to a blank slate for this new client matter. The first thing I typically do when I have a new client is onboard the client by sending them an intake survey. So our client is an individual taxpayer, so we'll come to the individual tab, and we're going to create a new service. A service is an intake survey that collects information from the client and prepares all the IRS forms that we need to resolve that client's case. So we're going to start with creating an individual service. Now, different clients have different circumstances, so we could send a different intake survey depending on those circumstances. Sometimes we just want to send an intake survey to get a power of attorney prepared so we can call the IRS. If that were the case, we could select this power of attorney only intake survey, and it takes the client less than 5 minutes to complete the information, and it allows us to prepare the IRS Form 2848 power of attorney. Other times a client will contact us and perhaps they've already talked to ACS or revenue officer and they need a Form 433A and they know that. Well, we want to prepare all the forms that we're going to need for that client, so we would send them through a comprehensive tax debt resolution intake survey. That will prepare the Form 433A, the 2848, in addition to the installment agreement requests. It will also prepare all the other forms that we may need. We may come into this, we may find out that this client qualifies for an offer in compromise. And so we'll prepare the Form 433 AOIC, Form 656, or Form 433F, whichever form that we need. This comprehensive tax debt resolution will prepare those forms for us and give us all the analytics on which resolution is the right one for this client. A simple pre-qualifier is just a quick and dirty analysis to determine whether a taxpayer qualifies for an offer in compromise, payment plan, or currently non-collectible status. There are no forms that the pre-qualifier analysis completes. It's designed to onboard a client if you're wondering how much to quote them on a fee, and you just want to determine whether they might qualify for an OIC or something else. And then, of course, a tax return organizer. That is for clients whose tax returns you might be preparing, federal or state. It collects a series of information regarding their activity during the tax year, deductions, credits, income, and things like that. In this case, why don't we send the client a comprehensive tax debt resolution so we can get the power of attorney, 433A, and everything out of the way at once. I'm going to select that service, and it's going to take us to a screen where we can invite our clients. Now, if I hadn't added a client here, it would prompt me to add a client. But I have, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to select Johnny Appleseed, our client, and I can send the invitation. Sometimes I don't want to invite the client. I may want to complete the survey myself. Well, that option is available to me too. I can complete the entire intake survey on my own and still get all the analytics and downloadable IRS forms. In this case, we're going to send the invitation to Johnny Appleseed, and it's going to give us a confirmation that that intake survey has been sent. Perfect. So now what do? We wait and we start focusing on other client matters, because at this point, Beanstalk has sent an email to your client prompting them to log in and complete the intake survey. When they complete the intake survey, Beanstalk will notify you automatically via email that the intake survey is complete and ready for review, along with all the analytics. We can also get a status update on that intake survey. Obviously, we just sent this one, and so its status completion is 0%. Once it's completed, you have a full suite of tax analytics for offer and compromise payment plans and uncollectible status and all the IRS forms that you'll need to resolve the account. All right, so now you can sit back and relax and wait for the client to complete this intake survey. When it is complete, the Beanstalk will send you a notice via email letting you know that you can log in and view an entire suite of tax analytics and IRS downloadable forms. Really, what we've been able to do is onboard a new client in less than 2 minutes, and sometime later tonight, that client will have completed that intake survey and will have all the documents that we need to begin resolving the case, reducing dramatically how much time it takes to resolve a tax resolution case, prepare a client organizer, Form 2848, or whatever the case might be.